I'm not supposed to do it.
Oh my goodness, she's too much. Okay, another round of Q and A with Miss Raven.
Or cute and A.
Cute and A.
That just came to my mind when I looked at her.
That was pretty good. All right, so the first question is from Melinda Wright.
Hi, Melinda.
Hi, Melinda. So, of course, she submitted this right before Raven's 22nd birthday, which has already passed, but that's okay. We're close enough. She said, since Raven's birthday is coming up, may we hear how she came to care and about her partner, who was, his name was Spotty.
Aw, Spot. Sometimes her best friend, sometimes her worst enemy. Raven came to Care. She was actually born here before Care was Care. So when the nonprofit of Care took over, she became a part of the organization. So that's how Raven got to Care. So she's been here forever. She's been here since dirt. So she's pretty precious. Perfect and an angel now. Not always a perfect angel. People say, Milo's so wild and crazy. Well, guess what? Little sweet Raven. She was pretty bad too at one time. She wants a lot of love all the time now, though, because as she's gotten older, she's gotten smaller and teenier and cuter and more wonderful to be around as a human that values their limbs. But I still don't underestimate who she is. She lived with Spotty most of her life, and Spotty unfortunately preferred Ace over her mostly, but Ace already lived with another cat, but he did like Ace a lot. Spotty and Raven loved each other some of the time and didn't love each other some of the time, but they were mates and they did quite well together for leopards.
And Spotty was one of my absolute favorites. He was a special guy.
He loved to lick your hand. That was one of his favorites. And Milo is starting to do that. Like when you put your hand up to the fence, he loves to lick. I think it's the salt on your hand. He loved to eat grass, so we used to always get grass, try to get grass year round. We grew winter grass for him, and we always called it the Spotty salad. That was pretty awesome. But he was very, very gentle and loving and kind, very much different from any other leopard that anybody would remember here that Care has ever had. Yes, Raven is, but she acquired this old lady taste as being a sweetheart. Hey, the people are over here in the
She's napping. I even remember when I first started volunteering here, when you gave her anything to eat, you had to turn the other way.
And then
she hated people standing there while she was eating. She would have an absolute fit and growl and hiss and spit, and
but
you just had
now.
to turn your back on her so she could eat without anybody watching her.
No more now. She does need to be sedated to have her claws cut soon. Because she's older and her legs are bowed, she can't, people say sharpen their claws on wood. Well, they're really not sharpening their claws. They're actually shedding the sheaths off of the end of the claw. Well, if they don't do that, then they get very massive and they start bowing around, and they actually eventually will go into the pads on their feet. Raven had that happen before I caught it the first time. So we usually sedate her a couple times a year and just go in and maybe some of you seen her spa day with Dr. Bill. And she's getting to the point now that I think that we can almost do it while she's awake, but we're not going to try it quite yet. Maybe the next time.
All right, next question. This is a funny one. This is from Tiranu. I think I'm saying that right. Tiranu asks, why do the large cats tend to sit with their tongues out, just as a regular thing, where you don't see a lot of domestic cats doing that?
Anatomically, the mouth on a big cat is more like a wolf or a dog. You know, they have the larger, it's Dr. Frank at University of New York, we always talk about he calls it a dam, and it's that thing where the saliva pours out all the time, and it's a cooling mechanism, he believes. So they're not like a cat. A domestic cat doesn't have that. Also, a big cat's tongue is a little bit wider than a domestic cat's. I've seen some of these cats with some pretty wide tongues that, like, how does that even fit in their mouth? And then also I noticed that kind of the special ones, like Munchie and
Buggy.
maybe Fire, and some of the
Serena.
older ones, some of the ones that may not have the best genetics in the world, that they have their tongue hang out a little bit more than the others. But I think a lot of it has to do with their mouth structure is, like I said, more similar kind of to a wolf, that would keep their mouth open and pant. And you will see these guys with their mouth open and panting a lot more than you would see a domestic cat with their mouth open panting. So I think if I were to guess, and this is just my guess, I believe that is probably why. Maybe Dr. Frank needs to answer that question thoroughly. If you're watching Dr. Frank or Sandy, please let me know what the correct answer is. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.